Welcome back to Making the Case. I'm Sharon Reed, in for Udit Tewolde. Nonviolent protests in support of voting rights continued today in Washington, D.C. Activists, along with lawmakers from all over the country, rallied earlier this afternoon outside the Capitol. They called on Congress to pass meaningful voting rights legislation like the For the People Act.
And this is democracy in action. This is 500 lawmakers from across this country, all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and Guam, coming together to say, we do not want to filibuster, we do not want to recess, we want one standard when it comes to voting.
Here to talk about the ongoing fight for voting rights is Executive Director and co-founder of Black Voters Matter, Cliff Albright. And Cliff, thanks. It's good to see you again. You were right there at today's rally. I can see it was well attended. Paint the scene for us, because I feel like you've been at this for so long. So many of us have been demanding this for so long. Was the mood one of hope that this will be done?
Hi, Sharon. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, I think there was definitely a mood of hope, a mood of defiance. What we had today was over 100 state legislators from probably around 25 different states who came to D.C. to deliver a message, or a couple of messages. One, they wanted the folks from Texas, the delegation from Texas that's been here now going on 4 weeks. They wanted to deliver a message to them that they are not alone and that state legislators from across the country are here to support them. But they also wanted to deliver a message to the U.S. Senate, right? And particularly to our friends in the Senate, right? Those that are supposed to be on our side pushing this voting rights legislation. They wanted to deliver a message that recess can wait. You may know that the Senate is looking at taking its August vacation. They say, and we say, and we're making the case, recess can wait, their vacation can wait, not until they deal with voting rights should they go on recess.
Yeah, my grandmothers were different, right, Cliff? And I know you and I have talked about this. There was the one over here who was, bees and honey, and then there was the one over here who said now, and might have had a few curse words in there too. Talk about your organization, right? Black Voters Matter, because there are some specific demands. I mean, we could call them action items, agenda, and talk about what's at the top, but these really are demands to end this voter suppression and to demand voting rights for people of color.
Yeah, and the demand is very simple, right? We want to see the passage of HR 1 S1, that's the For the People Act. That's what the rally was really focused on today. That's the one that's sitting in the Senate right now. It's passed the House, but it's pending in the Senate. So the first demand is that be passed in its current form is our preference. The second demand is that the John Lewis Voting Rights Act, which has not yet actually been finalized, that's still in development, that has to go through both the House and the Senate, that needs to be passed because that does something different than the first one, than For the People Act. And then we also always talk about, whenever we talk about voting rights, and especially when we're here in D.C. protesting around it, we always want to talk about D.C. statehood because that's a voting rights issue as well. Those are the demands, and to get to those demands, what we recognize is that they need to just can wait, and secondly, that they have got to end the filibuster. Preferably end the filibuster altogether, but at minimum, in regards to voting rights, there needs to be an exception, the same way that they do, these budget reconciliation, and they can do that without having to deal with the filibuster. Voting rights is so important; it needs to be treated the same way. Those are the demands.
Yeah, those are the demands, and I understand that, the filibuster and so much rests with the Senate, but I want to talk about the White House, right? 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Do you think this president is saying, is doing, is pressuring enough?
Clearly not, Sharon, and that's why tomorrow's action, we're doing a march tomorrow, which unlike the past few weeks, right, we've now had 4 weeks of Congress people, mainly from the CBC, from the Congressional Black Caucus, not mainly, exclusively from the Congressional Black Caucus. Today, Representative Al Green from Texas was arrested. So we've had 4 weeks of actions, most of those focused on the Senate, but tomorrow we're doing a march at the White House, along the side of the White House, and in the front of the White House, where we're speaking directly to President Biden. Because no, to answer your question, he is not doing
Yeah.
enough. He's used some strong words, but he has not taken a strong enough stance against the filibuster. And again, voting rights should be exempt from the filibuster in all shapes and sizes. We don't care or want to hear about a standing or a talking filibuster, especially in regards to voting rights, because they've used a standing filibuster to squash civil rights legislation in the past for decades. We cannot allow them to do the same thing right now.
And I know this president knows who got him there, right? But if he's not more vocal, if this doesn't get done, he may not be there for a term number 2 if he wishes. We just have a few seconds left. People at home, real quick, just seconds left. What can they do to get involved? Because it's all hands on deck.
It's all hands on deck. We got to be willing to escalate, to engage in direct action, to be arrested if need be, and we suspect that might happen tomorrow as well. Follow us on social media. That's Black Voters MTR, or follow some organization that's doing work on this issue. But you can follow us, Black Voters MTR. You can text us today. You can text "Pick a Side" to 797979, and you can get information about tomorrow's action, as well as other things you can do, phone calls that you can make to the White House and to the Senate.
All right. Well, good luck. I got your bail money. Okay. I hope you don't get arrested tomorrow, but I got your bail money, Cliff. Thanks so much. Executive Director, co-founder of Black Voters Matter, Cliff Albright. Thanks for joining us, Cliff, and good luck. Much more making the case right after this.